Boyfriend bought hotel room but I couldn't go. My boyfriend got us a hotel today out of nowhere. He paid $130 for it. I get off at 6:30 and he got home at 7. I was laying on the couch for just a second and he came in screaming and hollering. He can really lose his temper and it gives me anxiety, especially when he drives. So I couldn't find a outfit for the night and that really pissed him off. So I just threw anything in the bag and we left. We are on our way to drop off our dog but I made him turn around. I couldn't do it. The yelling and fast angry driving, so I made him take me and my dog back home. He was so pissed, I never seen him so angry. He basically broke up with me, texting me multiple messages, but one that really stuck out was, "There's nothing left." He is on his way out of town to go the hotel and I'm home at the apartment. The crazy part is I'm happy to just have peace and be alone. What should I do? Stay broken up? This sounds unhealthy, and you are obviously more comfortable being away from him. Sounds like the adult version of surprising your kids with a trip to Disney World and then screaming at them for not having fun. Maybe you could go get the dog and have a nice peaceful night with him instead. He sounds unstable from your description. You're better off without him. Ignore his messages and move on with your life. You should take his breakup as a blessing, and block his number. Sounds like the trash took himself out. If he wants to break up with you over a hotel room, your relationship wasn't very strong to begin with. I'll never forget what made my cousin leave her husband. She was at the cinema with her friend and he'd been trying to call her. Obviously, at a cinema her phone was on silent. When she got out she had so many missed calls off him. She rang him back and all she got was, "You're the most selfish person I've ever met." When she got home, he was fuming and apparently he'd arranged for them to go to a friend's house for tea. When she said she was out at the cinema his response was, "You should be waiting here at home ready for me to tell you what we're doing." So she left and hasn't looked back since. Sounds like he did you a favor breaking up with you. Enjoy your evening, and then your life. I think your body is giving you your answer, relief. Let him go. He wants you to fulfill his vision of a girlfriend regardless of his own angry or unpleasant behavior. He doesn't see you as a real person with real feelings. I recommend that you keep the dog and lose the boyfriend. Update. She, 25F, made a plan to cheat on me and has been going out with guys behind my back. Original post. Thank you all who gave me the advice to leave, you were all 100% right. After I made that post I spoke to my partner's best friend and our roommate, he told me everything. Last year after I lost my job she spent 6 weeks desperately trying to get her ex to get back together with her. At one point she had a fit of screaming and crying outside of our grad school because the guy rejected and blocked her. At that time she made a plan to go back to India, where she's from, and find him to hook up with him. Had made an entire itinerary of how she would do it, and was working with the best friend to make it work. Best friend washed their hands and said no way. After that rejection she started flirting with other guys, and that's all best friend knows. Currently she's interested in 4 guys that I know of, but possibly could be many others as I don't have access to her phone. The funniest part was, I stayed with her because she supported me while I was unemployed, and now that I have a great job, one she could never get, I find out she was trying to dump me the entire time and was just failing miserably at it lol. It's a very fitting end to me now leaving her too, now she has no one. Tonight I'm going out with some friends, then tomorrow I'm going back to my home in NYC to apartment hunt. I'm going to tell her that my sister is sick. I'm pretending to keep the relationship going but she knows something's up. I want to get her a Valentine's Day gift that says, "Fuck you," without saying fuck you. I was thinking a half-eaten Crunch bar from the local CVS with a receipt included in full. What do you all think? Too long did not read. With an absolute fuckgirl gold digger. Didn't believe she was using me and thought she was supporting me. Just found out she's been unfaithful the whole time. Don't stoop to her level. Be an adult and simply end the relationship. Get your apartment, make arrangements to move, and then once you have your things out of the shared living space, break up with her. Don't tell her that you know anything. Let her think that you just decided you were moving on. What would work better would be for you to say, "This isn't working. You have until the end of the month and move out," and that's only because she has tenant rights. No explanation needed. Don't explain anything, block her and move on. Narcissists tend to love the gloat of it all, which is why she had a fit when she was blocked. So follow suit. If you have to charade it up until she leaves, fine. But I would just forget Valentine's Day, start the gray rock process, and live your best life. I read about a guy that knew his girl was cheating. He waited until her birthday, had a beautiful love poem, "You're my world" type, printed and framed, with the last line saying how he knows she has been cheating, and then wrapped it up and gave it to her to open at her party in front of him, all her friends and family. End the relationship and that's it. You don't need to spend more money and time on it. Don't be afraid to finish things. I hope you update. You shouldn't stoop to her level, but you could buy a bag of chocolate coins and put them in a pot as a gift. I want to get her a Valentine's Day gift that says, "Fuck you," without saying fuck you. I was thinking a half-eaten Crunch bar from the local CVS with a receipt included in full. What do you all think? Why? This is petty AF. You're 30, not a middle schooler. Will people stop saying, "Don't stoop to her level"? Buying someone a petty, fuck you, parting gift is not on the same level as using someone, treating them like shit and cheating on them for a whole year. I would just leave. Like, why on earth would I even put in the time to think about you? Eno? Break up. Give no explanation since that would eat him up. My boyfriend called a Twitch streamer his queen. I don't know what to do. He says he thought it was funny. I don't think it's funny at all. Set up a Twitch. Start streaming. See how he likes it when guys start simping over you. It all depends on the context and what your boundaries are. I say stuff like that all the time in a joking way, and my boyfriend doesn't mind. If he did mind, I'd stop immediately. If it's upsetting to you, have a conversation about it because you're valid. Talk to him? Not nearly enough context in this post to draw any conclusions. Man. As someone who has gotten this kind of message in chat while streaming, it is so cringe when they start hitting on you like that. I am a huge Twitch bum and it is absolutely not the Twitch culture like these other posters are saying. Unless you're talking about for the titty streamers. There are tons of cringe guys who talk like that to the titty streamers and I would be extremely unimpressed if I were in your position. I feel sorry for your generation that this is being normalized. When I'm in a relationship I want everything about me. I don't care if it is online. I would be very irritated by my partner talking to other women like this. She's just doing her thing, that I get, but it is just disrespectful towards you what your boyfriend is doing. He has you, he shouldn't be showing her that kind of attention. As much as I hate this simping guys and think such thing is cringe. It was just a joke maybe and really not that bad? If after you talk to him he wouldn't change, then break up. Show boundaries. 16F. I made an earlier post, but I still have a question about what to do next when the cops come. Quick summary if you didn't see my last post. Long story short, my mom left me in the house for 2 days without food as a punishment, and she has a pattern of doing things like this. What exactly do I tell them? I don't want her to go to jail, but I just wish I could have outside intervention to get out of this situation. I am afraid once I tell them the full truth she could get arrested. Although my mom haven't been treating me the right way, I still feel like she doesn't deserve having the last part of her life taken away from her. I feel like she's treating me like this because of past trauma. I have a horrible family. If it is, I don't want to be the reason why. She's told me things before about living the last 50 years of her life better. She claims I am her last hope. I have been up all night crying and trying to figure out where my life is turning next. Opening parenthesis. What should I tell the cops? Tell them the truth. If you lie or keep things away from them, you could end up in a worse place. She's manipulating you. Tell the cops exactly what happened. You are not supposed to look after your mother at this stage of life. Don't let her guilt trip you while you can barely eat. In fact, it might be good for her too if you have space yourself. Just tell the truth. It's a confusing time. Telling the truth is easier in the long run and you'll feel better. Tell them that your mom left you alone with no food and no ways to contact her. They might ask follow-up questions and you should just tell them the truth. That is going to make it easier for you and the cops. You can provide proof with the texts etc. if needed. Don't be afraid, it will get better. Past trauma doesn't give her an excuse to abuse her child. They need to know everything. Show them your Reddit posts here, that will be enough. Show them the pantry. Show them the calls to mom that didn't go through. You don't need to tell them anything. I understand you love your mom and don't want her hurt or to go to jail. But you are not the parent in this relationship. At 16, you need a guardian, a responsible, stable adult who will care for you physically, if not emotionally. Your mom is not capable. And I know you love her. And it's likely due to past trauma and not because she wants to be like this. If I were you, I would talk to your school counselor. Yes, they are a mandatory reporter and it will end up getting reported, but you will also be speaking with someone who can help walk you through the process. There is no guarantee that your mom will go to jail, or will get help, or will get better. But I do guarantee this. If you take no steps, this will happen again. And you deserve so much more. Tell them what happened. You need to be in a safe and healthy environment. Any consequences she faces are hers to deal with.